we've got reviews of The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings, and Operation Flashpoint Red River.
Plus, we'll get some FaceTime with the guys behind Mass Effect and Dragon Age. X-Play starts right now.
That hates the word embargo.
Yeah.
I'm Morgan Webb.
And I'm Adam Sessler. Where do all these people come from?
I don't know. Coming up on today's show, I'll get some FaceTime with BioWare's Mad Doctors. We're going to talk E3 and more specifically the game they've been showing off, Mass Effect 3. Then we are going to stay up all night with the British space Nazis of Killzone 3.
Go 3. Plus, you've got a brutally honest review of Thor, God of Thunder. You know, you might just want to go see the movie again instead of playing this. And later, we'll review the realistic tactical shooter Operation Flashpoint Red River. But first, a PC game that might make you buy a new graphics card.
Plenty of gamers bemoan the state of PC gaming. There's invasive DRM, bad ports from consoles, and a lack of stunning visuals.
Why no more, Master Race? The Witcher 2 is the answer. This RPG delivers the goods and even trumps the impressive original. Here's our review.
At long last, Geralt of Rivia is back in a new adventure from CD Projekt Red.
Finally! They've taken a good position, the bastards!
The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings is a direct sequel to the first game, continuing the story of Geralt, who has been framed for the murder of a king and must clear his name by finding the real killer.
Where should I start?
This, of course, is much more complicated than it sounds, especially since the real assassin seems to be a Witcher like Geralt. For those unfamiliar, a Witcher is sort of like a Jedi who kills monsters for money. Except many of their powers come from drinking toxic potions, and they constantly have sex with random women. Why, yes, this series is European. How did you know?
Did you dream of the Wild Hunt again?
You can probably attribute the well-written and adult-oriented story to its European roots as well.
Foltest defiled my mother.
The Witcher 2 is steeped in political intrigue, hidden agendas, gray moral areas, and a generally grimy, unvarnished fantasy version of the Middle Ages. As you can see, it's drop-dead gorgeous, even if some of the places it depicts don't look like they would smell very good. The level of detail is incredible. You'll need a beefy PC to run it maxed out, but everything looks great from the finely detailed outfits to the horrific creatures to the local brothel.
Oh yeah, the brothel sounds especially interesting.
And as good as it all looks, the fantastic sound design is what really sells the world and its inhabitants as real, weighty, and solid.
Desist! Or be put down like the rabid dogs you are!
The gameplay has been completely overhauled from the original game. The Witcher 2 now plays as a full-on action RPG. Combat is fast, real-time, and somewhat reminiscent of Batman Arkham Asylum. It actually plays a little smoother with a gamepad, in fact. Don't think this means it's been dumbed down, though. The difficulty curve is high. You'll die a lot until you get the hang of things, and the tutorial is not much help there. But once you have it down, you can make Geralt practically dance through his foes. Unlike many games that claim your decisions matter, The Witcher 2 isn't kidding around.
I get the feeling that dream's important.
The middle of the game is completely different based on your earlier decisions. If you want to see all the content, you'll need to play through this 40-hour epic at least twice.
This I like!
The Witcher 2 gets just about everything right. The combat is challenging and engaging, the story is mature and makes sense in the end, the characters are well realized and feel like real people, and the setting perfectly balances the familiar with the alien. Buy it play it some more, and wait impatiently for the third game.
You have just become the most titled Witcher in the world.
A 5 out of 5.
It's a good day to kill, Your Majesty!
All right, one of the games that everybody wanted to get some hands-on time with at E3 2011 was Mass Effect 3. The conclusion to the trilogy is set to release early next year, and we're about to get some FaceTime with two of the guys behind this, I would say epic would be a good way to describe it, this epic RPG.
Thank you so much for joining us on the E3 stage. stage right here. Now, this right now is the last day of E3. So what have you guys seen on the show floor, around the convention center that's really cool, has really stood out for you?
Well, one of the things that was really exciting last night, I got to go, Greg and I went both to a community event we set up for our fans, the Star Wars The Old Republic fan groups and community groups. And we got to hang out with them and spend a lot of time chatting and hearing what they liked and didn't like and what they were excited about in our games, other games. And I love hanging out with fans, talking directly with them. So that was one of the highlights for me of the show, definitely.
And did you get some strong opinions about what you should do with the game?
Yeah, we got a lot of really positive feedback. Like a lot of these folks have come from really long distances to try it out. A lot of them were able to get in to actually have formal fan sites and blogs and stuff. And we got a lot of great feedback, I think, and also really positive. Like everyone was really pumped. I mean, it's a long line. There's like hours of wait, and people are going 2-3 times. So they play different classes and different stuff. They're just so enthusiastic.
So what do you have available on the show floor for people to play?
We have Star Wars The Old Republic, we have hands-on, showing all kinds of coolness and the world of Tatooine, higher level combat, bosses, raids operations, vehicles, a lot of great stuff, all the Origin worlds, and it's on hands-on.
Jawa companion.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Every character has different companions, and we're showing for the first time a whole bunch of different companions. So people are like, you got a Jawa? He goes, yeah, we got a Jawa, and it's pretty cool.
And we got Mass Effect 3. We're showing a ton of new content there.
But this is not playable, right?
Oh no, it's behind closed doors, but it's great. It's really, really cool. Intense action, epic galactic scope. The Earth's been taken. It's up to you as Commander Shepard to make choices that allow you to take it back.
So we should talk a little bit about, sort of your big reveal was this Kinect functionality that's going to be integrated into the game. Kinect is, I think in general, which is maybe fair or not fair, thought of as something for more casual gamers. Mass Effect is for more core gamers. How do you integrate the two without alienating people, annoying people?
Well, it's very much an optional augmentation of the experience. So, example, you can read a line of dialogue, and then you can see the cinematic, unfold and enact, or you can use a controller to make it all happen. And where it really shines, I think, is in combat, where you get to call out personalized orders to your squad. Well, maybe you focus on Commander Shepard. You're running forward and kicking ass and using your Omni tool blade to do some melee combat, up close and personal, run and gun or strafe or stealth. And meanwhile, you're calling out orders, Liara and Garrus, to do different abilities on the battlefield. It really gives you different ways to play. And of course, it's seamless with a controller too. So you don't need to have Kinect, but I think there's a different way to play, and for players who are into that, it's going to augment the experience.
I think most people come to E3, they walk around, they check stuff out, they wait in line, they play a game. What is your day more like?
Well, it's interesting. I think for one thing that we actually start earlier. Like we actually came on the weekend because we both had to rehearse. Like for example, I had to rehearse for the EA press conference. Ray was rehearsing for the Microsoft press conference, and that takes quite a bit. These are big productions. There's a lot of stuff you got to get done. After that, we actually really do a lot of interviews, some business meetings. Ray and I were actually also talking to a lot of EA's investors this time around to give them confidence that we're not crazy, for example. That's why I'm wearing my suit jacket.
The blazer helps always.
Crazy in a good way.
Yeah, we're crazy but business oriented. and then the other thing is when we actually are at this part of the show, we're actually doing a lot of interviews. And this is one of many things we do today, and I think a lot of time, supporting our products. I think that's actually one thing we spend a lot of time doing, and it's something we actually love doing. Because we represent the teams here and just love to talk about what we're making.
And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do that. Like to be able to represent our teams and the passion they have for our games and how we want to deliver quality to our fans is it's a genuine honor for us.
Well, thank you so much for letting us steal you guys away. Thanks for wearing your business blazers. I wore mine too. Thank you so much. Let's send it over to Kristen Adams.
Coming up on X-Play, we've got reviews of all the latest games, including the realistic military shooter Operation Flashpoint Red River and the summer movie tie-in for God of Thunder. Plus, we'll stay up all night with addictive PS3 exclusive Killzone 3 and dish out all the latest online news in this week's MMO Report. We'll be right back.
This portion of X-Play is brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE, the fastest 4G network in America, built so you can rule the air.
Here are this week's top 5 selling Android games. At number 5, we've got Zenonia 2. It's a classic RPG game, complete with a class and skill tree system boasting nearly 40 hours of gameplay. At number 4 is X Construction, which challenges the wannabe engineer in all of you by giving you only a set amount of materials to build a bridge. Coming in at number 3 is Doodle Jump. Guide this little doodler to the top with springs, jetpacks, and all types of vertically propulsive contraptions. Number 2 is Fruit Ninja. If slashing fruit like a ninja has ever piqued your interest, this is the game for you. And finally, at number 1 is Robo Defense. Kill monsters with robot towers through 120 levels of tower defense madness. Yes, it's definitely addicting. Who are you talking to? I'm scared.
Who are these people? Welcome back to the show. Military shooters, they can be great fun, but I would say that often they're lacking in the realism department.
Well, wait a second. What you're telling me is that wars are single-handedly won by silent protagonists that kill thousands of soldiers?
I know, right? Right? History would tell you something different, I would say. Well, Operation Flashpoint Red River brings a big dose of the realism to the shooter genre, and we'll find out right now if it works in our review.
Welcome to the war.
Operation Flashpoint Red River is here.
Fire in the hole!
Hot on the heels of the recent Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising, Red River delivers more of the same, which is what you'd expect from a series that so badly wants to be the most genuinely accurate military shooter out there.
All clear, Staff Sergeant.
And maybe it is. You got the modern-day setting, the team-based strategy,
Team, let's go! 50 meters!
the big-time missions. To no surprise, it's all here.
You're shooting me!
Playing as the leader of Fire Team Bravo, it's time to go to Tajikistan and hunt down insurgents fleeing Afghanistan.
Target pacified!
As stated, this is a strategic team-based adventure. Commands and strategies have to be given almost constantly.
Rifleman, 100 meters, east!
It's imperative to survival. Strategy is everything.
Team, move your ass!
Red River is not a shooter. There's not going to be a lot of heavy action. It is tactical in nature, just like real war.
Team, saddle up!
Is that always fun? Not really. But reality sometimes isn't fun. That's reality.
Think I see something 150 meters south.
The AI that makes up the team in single-player mode is anything but fun. They're just inept and often get in the way.
Really? And how would I do that?
Too much time is spent babysitting them, getting them healthy.
You're good. Get back in the fight.
But a squad leader isn't Dr. Drew, and war isn't celebrity rehab. There are more important things to do. Of course, the enemy AI, a bit more thorough.
This is Alpha Team. They got our range.
Fortunately, multiplayer is where the game shines. Co-op with 3 other pals, that's where the tactical nature of the game really comes through.
Contact 100 meters east.
Operation Flashpoint Red River is a decent enough tactical shooter. A lot of effort has gone into making the game as real as can be. The scenery looks good, but it's not the best game out there. Sorry. Operation Flashpoint Red River gets a 3 out of 5.
Killzone 3 is a great reason to own a PlayStation 3. With killer graphics, brutal combat, and ridiculous addictive multiplayer, this shooter will keep you up all night and then some.
When it comes to a NOS Energy drink-fueled late-night gaming experience, here's an X-Play pick to keep you up all night. Killzone 3 will have you powering through till dawn because it's one of the most cinematic, adrenaline-bursting action games this generation. Developers have made smart improvements to the overall feel of the weapons and the way you use them. And the fast pace of the game's missions gives everything an intense drive.
Get everybody to the extraction.
The action picks up right where Part 2 ended, with you taking out the evil alien Helghast, hopefully for good this time. Who needs peace negotiations anyway, right?
We will tell our children of this day.
Once you get out of the cutscene heavy opening, the action is relentless, and yes, we definitely mean that in a good way. Killzone 3 makes no excuses. This is an explosion-heavy, testosterone-fueled adventure that every red-blooded guy will love.
Now you shut your trap and you listen to me.
The game has a special feature that works surprisingly well. You can use the PlayStation Move controller to play. We were skeptical since many motion-based control schemes have been pretty hit or miss, especially on the Wii. But in the case of Killzone 3, it makes the action feel more immediate and involving. And one of the best features is the multiplayer. You and your friends are guaranteed a good time with the on-the-fly objective changing that we first saw in Killzone 2. It keeps the action fresh and fun. Of course, the standard modes are also available and include fun stuff like mounted weapons, deployable turrets, and flying sentries. Added value.
Covering fire!
If you love manly games that don't let up on the action, this is more than just a must-have exclusive to the PS3. It's the shot of adrenaline that's guaranteed to keep you up all night.
Stick around, there's more X-Play on the way, including a review of the incredibly unfortunate Thor: God of Thunder.
Yeah, spoiler alert, it sucks so hard. Seriously, it does. Plus, all the latest headlines in the new installment of the always charming MMO Report. We will be right back.
Up All Night is brought to you by NOS High Performance Energy Drink. NOS fuels gamers.
Yes, my friends. Hey, welcome back to X-Play. Now, without a doubt, Thor was a great way to kick off the summer movie season. That movie delivered the goods, and it made me start hitting things with a hammer. Now, the video game tie-in, was a little bit different. Here's our review of Thor: God of Everything That Sucks.
When you're ready.
By Odin's beard, this game sucks. Hey, did you like the Thor movie that came out a few weeks ago? Did it fill you with optimism and goodwill for more Marvel movies? Did you truly believe that everything is all right in the world? Well, take a look, take a real good look at Thor: God of Thunder. Yep, crap.
I should have seen it coming.
It boggles the mind how a game that looks and plays like this could possibly be released in 2011. The game is nothing but a money-grubbing Thor. We all know movie license games are the bastard litter of the video game world. But Thor: God of Thunder, well, this is a whole new level of suckitude.
You've come here to die.
Such potential wasted. Thor could have been a decent God of War clone. I could have been a decent human being. Some things clearly aren't meant to be.
You cannot stand against me!
Zounds! This game doesn't even attempt to not be a cliche of movie games. The story is as such. Thor and his brother Loki have their family issues, and these issues spill out into fights and battles, like the Real Housewives of Asgard, or something like that.
No more lies!
The game is extremely combat-based. Thor combat-based. You know, the heavy strikes, the thunder god-type powers. Thor focuses entirely on combat, and not much else. There are upgrades throughout for more powers. That's worth mentioning, I guess. And Thor has finishing moves. Wow! Thor's got something other games have. Stop! Hammer time! In the combat, it's never quite clear what's going on. Just button-mashing nonsense. And the timing is jerky. It actually sucks out my will to live.
Then I shall shatter that will with my hammer.
And I haven't seen boss battles this bad since Bruce Springsteen's first divorce. Let's play a game called How Bad Is It? Thor is so bad, it's been living in a mansion in Pakistan for the past 5 years. Thor is so bad, it replaced Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men. Thor is so bad, Stan Lee still made billions off it. If this game doesn't bring about Ragnarok, I will be very surprised.
I want justice.
This game is nothing but a cheap Thor you could find on any Hollywood street corner. Thank Odin's son Jack Kirby isn't alive to see this one.
What have I done?
Thor: God of Thunder peters out with 1 Uru hammer out of 5.
Doesn't matter. They'll suffer for this all the same.
If you want all of the latest MMO news, don't turn to some sketchy guy that runs a blog. What you need to do is turn to a sketchy guy who sits behind a news desk, because that makes it official. And here is Casey Schreiner with this week's MMO Report.
Thanks, Morgan. Funcom will be relaunching their adult-themed MMO, Age of Conan, under a free-to-play hybrid payment model this summer. Age of Conan Unrated will give players access to all the outdoor areas from the original game, 2 character slots, 4 classes, and access to non-premium dungeons. Premium customers who decide to continue paying a monthly fee will get alternate advancement points, veteran points, access to offline levels, and all the content from their most recent expansion, Rise of the Godslayer. BioWare has released yet another character progression video for Star Wars The Old Republic, this time focusing on the Trooper class. Featuring the Commando and Vanguard advanced classes, a Trooper acts like a ranged tank, packing serious firepower as well as an arsenal of helpful team buffs. Thankfully, the Troopers of the Old Republic are not clones, and therefore actually show competence in the battlefield. Well, as long as you don't completely suck. For even more news about the world of MMOs and a brand new full episode of the MMO Report premiering every Thursday afternoon, head on over to g4tv.com/MMO.
Next week on X-Play, don't miss our Best of E3 Awards special, where we look back at the games that dominated the show. Plus previews of 3 blockbuster sequels, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3, and StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm. Plus a StarCraft 2 cheat for all of you Zerglings.
Thanks for watching X-Play.